Hey guys, welcome back to our weekly live event. I'm Pascal, and we're going to be talking about the 4 common mistakes a new investor makes prior to a recession. So, thank you for being patient with me. I know it's this week I'm a little bit later than I normally come on, but things happen. All right, guys. I hope you guys are having a great week too. I've been having a really good week. I had a solid day today. Got a lot done. So I felt really good. Feeling good. Feeling great. Getting my conditioning in. Getting ready for that, market crash is coming. So ready to buy a bunch of properties. So today, what we're going to be talking about is we're going to be talking about the 4 common mistakes a new investor makes prior to a recession. And these are misconceptions that people think and they're going off of these assumptions, and I want to break down each assumption and why that sounds good, but is not accurate to a recession. So when you got in a few minutes, once everyone kind of gets in, we're going to get going and start, right? And everybody, thank you for all the comments, for all the likes, the thumbs up, for sharing my account. I really appreciate it. That's kind of the thank you guys can give me for everything that I'm doing for you guys and the value. And I want to say thank you because I appreciate it as well. So awesome. Jay, what's up, Jay? Gilbert, Kirby, what's going on, guys? Jill, Ice. Oh, man, a lot of people today. Awesome. So, what's up? All right, guys. So how's everybody's week been? Hey, what's up? Millionaire Concierge. What's going on, guys? So everything's going good with me. The project's going really good. The house is definitely, right now with the house, we started bulldozing the first floor, not bulldozing, demoing the first floor. I mean, it almost like bulldozing it because we ripped it raw down to the studs. The exterior of the building, we ripped off all the siding. So we're basically going back to the studs and we're building it up from there. Ice Bro, what's going on? Lamborghini, Eldon, Atu, awesome. I'm glad everyone's having a solid week. And so what we're going to do is I'm going to go through the 4 common mistakes new investors make prior to a recession. After that, we're going to go through our Q&A. So have your questions ready because we're going to do the Q&A. And then from there, remember, request to go live and I'll chat face to face. And then put your questions in the question section. I'll answer those second. And then third, I'll answer the questions in a DM. What's up, Kevo? Atu, are you a fitness trainer too? I don't train people fitness, but I am a competitive powerlifter. So I go to competition and I go to powerlifting competitions. I also do Wing Chun Kung Fu. So I go to like Kung Fu competitions as well. So that's kind of like my fun thing that I do on the side. And it's what I like, But what is my main thing I do? I'm a finance guy. I have an accounting firm, an insurance agency, a lending company, property management, construction, and real estate investment company. So we basically are A to Z regarding real estate and finance. We handle it all here. So again, I'm going to go into the questions. Diego, what's up, buddy? I'm going to go into the questions and I'm going to get down dirty with them. But first, I want to go through the 4 common mistakes. Now, everyone on IG, if you're seeing it backwards on IG, that's normal. It happens every week. On YouTube, I'm also live on YouTube right now. And on YouTube, it is not backwards. So you'll be able to read everything. I will be posting this on YouTube as well. So anyone who wants to come and watch it, it's going to be on YouTube tomorrow morning by 10 a.m. All right. So let's get in. 4 common mistakes a investor makes, okay, prior to recession. So let me be specific to what are these mistakes are regarding. Prior to recession, these are 4 common mistakes investors think that's going to happen or be available regarding funding. So number 1 mistake that they make prior to a recession is not enough cash. When we have a recession, and we're going to have a recession, we're actually in a recession right now, right? We're technically in a recession right now, and it's going to get very bad, almost depression bad. What we need and what there's a lack of is there's a lack of liquidity in the market. So you need to have cash. If you have cash, you're going to be able to get a lot more deals. If you have a good amount of cash, it'll be a lot easier to get lending. So you need to have cash. You need to be prepared. So invest into liquid things, liquid items that are not going to go down when the market goes down. So if you're in stocks, there's a big chance that the stock market is going to go down hard, and all of your liquidity that was in the stock market is going to disappear. So be very careful, because people are like, oh, I'm going to hold my money in stocks, and then when I see a lot of good real estate deals, I'm going to pull the money out and buy those deals. What happens is what happened to me in 2008. The market crashed, and I lost 50%. I think roughly 50% of the value of my stocks. So have cash. Because when the deals come, you're going to need to have a good amount of cash to put down, or if sometimes all cash to get these deals. 2, second common mistake an investor makes. Line of credit. Second common mistake investors make prior to a recession. They rely on their line of credit, and they think that their line of credit is going to help them buy properties when the market goes down. What happened to me in 2008 is, or what actually almost happened to me, but I got a call. So I got a call in 2008 from a friend that works inside of the bank. And they called me, they're like, Pascal, I just left the meeting with the rest of the VPs at Bank of America. They're planning to shut all lines of credit. So what they did is they actually took everyone's home equity line of credit and business line of credit, and say you had $140,000, like in my dad's example, he had $140,000 on his business line of credit. What do? They chopped it down to $25,000. So a lot of business owners and investors think, okay, I have these lines of credit on my home or my properties. I'm going to use that money to buy more properties when the market goes down. Unfortunately, the banks, when they're in a credit crunch, they'll start getting rid of the lines of credit so they don't have that much exposure out in the market. So if you're relying on your lines of credit, unfortunately, it's probably not going to be there. So don't rely on your business lines of credit, and do not rely on your home equity lines of credit, because they can be reduced. If you're planning to use it, pull the money out. Okay? So very common mistake, and it happens to a lot of new investors. Third is that lenders will still be there. When, after 2008 happened, roughly 80% of the lenders disappeared. 80% of the brokers disappeared. So the number of lenders in the market, period, just the number of even available, will not be there. So if you think, okay, I'm going to have some cash and I'm going to be able to go and find a loan. Finding a loan is a lot harder, and the terms aren't as good in a recession. So do not assume you're going to be able to easily get lending. Prepare to have people partner with you. Make the connections now on who you're going to partner with, so when the time comes, you already have those relationships established, so you can go and buy these deals. Okay? Sometimes you might be the person with the money, but you can't find deals, and your friend's able to find the deals. You might be the person with the credit, but you don't have the money and you don't have the deal. Now, you could be with the person with the deal, but you don't have the money or the credit. So this is a team sport. A lot of people don't think real estate is a team sport, but it is a team sport. And if you team up with the right players, you can be very successful. You're going to be a lot stronger together than separate. Fourth. Thinking lending conditions will be the same. So what does that mean, right? You're thinking lending conditions will be the same. I'm gonna sit over to the side so you can see it. So what does that mean? Thinking lending conditions will be the same. When the market goes down, I'll give you an example right now. Currently, I was able to get 10% down hard money loan. And I would only need to put up 10% of the construction project portion, the reconstruction portion. So I bought a building for roughly $300,000 and the remodel budget is about $100,000. So the total is $400,000. Normally, I would only need to come up with $40,000 to do this project. That's it. That's all the money I would need, okay? Now, because all of the lenders know something's gonna happen in the market, something bad is gonna happen, the market's gonna go down. Now they're requiring 20% down on hard money loans, 20% of the purchase and 20% of the remodel budget. Now again, not that big of a deal. I put up $80,000. I still think that's a very good deal. But when the market drops, all of the things that we're used to, all the lending conditions that we were assuming that we're currently accustomed to won't be there. So they're probably going to require 20% down and they won't give any of the, remodel budget. So prepare mentally, financially, and prepare your strategy so you can continue to work in those conditions. So all of the currently, like you can, or previous to Corona, you could have a stated income loan through some lenders, and they're fine with that, right? They were off. I saw some lenders offer loans to non-U.S. citizens. They were offering loans to people that didn't have a social security number. They didn't care. They were fine with it because the market conditions justified that type of risk. But when the market goes down, lending gets harder. Stated income loans, bank account loans, basically what those are, bank account loans are, they look at your bank account and they see how much money goes through your checking account, and they'll see, okay, well, based on how much money comes in and goes out, we'll give you a loan just off of that, not off a tax return or your credit or anything like that. So basically a lot of questionable, riskier loans are out there when the time is good. But when the time is bad, when there's a recession, when things are questionable and scary, they become more strict and the lending options are less, okay? So it's a common mistake that they think lending conditions will be the same, all right? So do not make those assumptions. Be prepared for the worst, and it's good to be over-prepared so you can actually win when the market goes down and all these deals come out. So again, I think the deals are going to start coming out. Like a lot of good deals should be starting to come out around May 2021. All right. So Daniel on YouTube says, when do you think the market is going to crash so I can pull my money out? So I think that I think that people are going to really accept how bad it is after May of 2021. That's when I really think people are going to accept it. And once the market accepts it and people accept it, and it becomes Main Street to accept that things are going to be bad, then we're going to see a lot of the foreclosures and the prices are going to go down a lot. Now, when is the market going to crash? That is really like only God that really knows that. But I do feel that things are going to get worse post-election. No matter who gets elected, it's going to get worse. after the election. That is pretty standard, that post-election is when things go bad. Normally, they do not allow things to get bad prior to an election because they don't want that to make affect people's votes, you know? Two, if Trump does not get reelected, it will be very bad. Not because of any political decisions, but statistically speaking, when a president doesn't get reelected, things are really bad. After that period where he does not get elected for the second term. Okay, I'm just saying statistically speaking. Okay, but in addition to that, if Biden does get elected and he decides to immediately repeal all of Trump's tax provisions where they gave a lot of investors to a lot of discounts to small business owners, then things will get worse even faster because we're already like bleeding money. If we're bleeding money and then they go and they say, you know what, all those discounts that we gave small businesses, we're taking them back. Well, now they're just going to be bleeding faster. So it's not really going to help anything or anybody in that case. It's just going to make them just die faster. So I think it'll be even worse if he repeals, if anybody, let me clarify, if anybody repeals all those tax credits and the new laws that Trump put in place to reduce taxes. All right, guys, let's get some of these questions in. Let me get to these questions. Good. Preach. That's success, brother.
Hi, my balls
are red. All right. Sal says, that's how Warren Buffett positioned Berkshire Hathaway a few weeks ago in April 2020. Yes, when the market crashed, Warren Buffett didn't buy anything. He actually sold stocks. He recently just started buying stuff. So, can we see your green card? No, because I don't have a green card. I used to have a green card. I became a citizen 4 years ago. I came here when I was 3. It took me till I was 25 to become a permanent resident. And then at 30, I became a citizen. So I'm 34 now. I'm 34, multimillionaire. I own a bunch of businesses. I have a ton of people working for me. So, don't think that anything was handed to me. I came here when I was 3. We lived in the hood and we worked our way out. Okay. So anyone can do it. All right. And yes, to answer, I can't understand your English. English was not my first language. Okay. And honestly, I'm bad at my first language and English. So this is not a class. If you want to learn English, this is not your class. All right, guys. You want to learn numbers, you came to the right place. Okay. Finance. I have a finance degree, minor in mathematics. I got a second degree in accounting, minor in economics and international business. I worked for Bank of America as a banker and did loans. I worked at Citigroup as doing anti-money laundering. I worked for PricewaterhouseCoopers, which is a Big Four accounting firm. I worked on Home Depot's taxes. I was head accountant at an oil company. I have done almost everything in the world of finance. And I did it with my own hands. I actually was the guy that did the work. So not only do I know it on a management level, but I know it on a practical level on how to do it and how to work on it for people. So the advice I'm giving you is technical answers on how to apply it in your life. Okay? So bring your questions and I'll be able to give you your answers. So what about refis? Refis are going to be difficult, not because the lending is going to stop. The government loans are not going to stop. The government is going to continue giving loans. The thing is, the question is regarding what about refis with lending, is that when you're going with a Fannie Mae or Freddie Mac loan, there's a portion of it that's called appraisals. So if now the appraiser is going to say, well, the housing price dropped, so you cannot base off of the current or the last sales, the housing price dropped. So it probably dropped 10 or 20%. So if you're saying the house was selling for 300 and now they know prices are dropping fast, they're going to say, well, we're going to lend you at 270. The appraiser's going to reduce it. And then on top of that, they're going to look at your tax returns. They're going to see, well, how is your income? Did you lose your job? So a lot of people that lost their job and didn't get a job that paid the same actually have now a job that pays less. They're going to not be able to qualify for as large of a loan. So now appraisals will go down. The amount of income people are making will go down. The amount of available people able to buy properties are going to go down. So it's going to cause a domino effect of prices going down. Not saying the prices aren't worth it. What am I going to do at that time? I'm going to start buying, because the prices for these properties are worth it. The thing is, very few people will be able to get loans. Very few people will be able to afford to buy them, which because there's less demand, it causes the price to go down. And this is what I call a sale. When we're in a recession, we're in a depression, the assets are still worth what they're worth, but they're on sale. So back in 08, 09, 10, people are like, oh, I don't want to buy real estate, where 3 years ago they were killing to buy real estate. Now they don't want to buy real estate. And I said, you're telling me you don't want to buy this piece of real estate. And at that time, they were selling properties for the cost of the material. I mean, you could buy properties, you could buy a house for $40,000. The materials to build the house, the wire, the metal, the concrete, the wood, the shingles, that material costs $40,000. That doesn't even include having to pay someone to put it together. So you're saying you're not going to buy a completed asset at cost? That's crazy. Obviously, it's a steal. It's a great deal. So and then obviously by the time about 2011 and then by 2014, all these big hedge funds started buying real estate, and all the requirement was, are we buying these properties at cost, at construction cost? So as long as we're buying them at that price, we know we're going to make a profit. I was buying them even cheaper than they were. I was buying it at material cost, not even construction cost. Material cost is cheaper than construction cost because it doesn't include labor. So I was basically getting free labor to put them together, right? In that logic. So let's see here. Next question. So I don't understand what you're writing. So tomorrow morning at 10 a.m., I'm going to have this video up on YouTube. And on YouTube, the video is not backwards. You'll be able to read it the right way, not mirror image. Is that English on the board? It is, but the writing is backwards. Your handwriting is too good. Again, not a writing major, not an artist. I'm a math guy, but understand the concepts. Try to understand the concept. So hard money charging like 12% down now. So hard money in Florida was 10% down, and then they also would only require 10% of the construction cost. So again, $300,000 purchase, $100,000 remodel budget, $400,000 total. They were only requiring $40,000. In Florida, it changed now to 20%. So now it's $80,000 for Florida deals. And again, the rates aren't bad though. I mean, my rate was for a hard money loan for this remodel I'm doing was 8.5%. So that was a good deal. All right, and anyone who wants to read it right now and not have it inverted, go on YouTube and you'll be able to read it the right way. All right, got a question on IG. Haters are everywhere. I'm trying to learn, so let the man teach. It's all good, brother. You know, my whole life I've had haters. You get used to it. I appreciate you guys that are here to learn. I love finance. I love real estate investing. This is my passion. I talk about it all the time, like literally all the time. So I'm here for you guys who want to learn. So Julian ING says, Pascal, I'm using the FHA loan to get into my own place soon, but just want to know in terms of finances, how much money should I get ready for the next May? My credit is already building up. So how much money? It really I'm hoping to have close to about $2 million cash by May of next year. And that's my money, not investor money. So I'm hoping to also team up with a lot of investors so we can probably pull together roughly I'm hoping we can shoot to close for like $10 million so we can have 10 million to start buying all these deals. I'm finding right now, I'm finding commercial plazas that were $6 million selling for $3 million. And I'm very, very certain that I can pick up that one that's selling for $3 million now for $1 million next year. And we only need 300,000 down to buy it. So if we only need 300,000 and we have $10 million, we'll be able to pick up 30 $6 million properties at $1 million a pop. And we just have to ride that wave till things get back to normal. That is my goal. So now when you see, well, Pascal, why are you being so patient? I'm not looking to pick up something tiny. I'm not looking to make baby money. I already made baby money. I'm really looking to make sick money. I'm looking to make crazy returns, 10 to 20 times my money. So if I pull 20 times my 2 million, I'll pull $40 million. So when you see me in that McLaren P1, and you're like, Pascal, why'd you buy $1 million car? Bro, I just made $40 million. Let me live. Let me live. Okay. So that's my goal. That's where I'm at, right? I learned from the 2000 recession. I learned from the 08 recession, and I'm trying to prepare myself to kill it in this next one. Okay. All right. So Julian also says, if it's as good as what happened in 08, I would be eager to start my investing into multi-unit properties. Yeah, I mean, it'd be good to buy multi-unit properties. Again, I bought a 4-unit in 2014 for 180,000, and I only put down 40K, and now it's worth 550,000. So my 40K made $350,000 in profit. Right? Look at that. The returns are amazing. And I'm still clearing over $2,000 a month net to my pocket on that property. So Julian also says, wow, this is insane. I'm excited for new things to come and hoping to invest with you in the future. Julian, God willing, everything works out. I'm very positive that things will work out. We just got to remember is that right now we're talking about things like it's easy. It's not easy, guys. When things start going down, everyone's going to start freaking out. Remember what happened in March when the stock market tanked? Everyone was freaking out. The stock market dropped to like 18.5. Everyone thought the world was over. And I just was trying to tell people, look, calm down. It's going to be okay. So what we have to do is when it falls down, we got to be calm and make our moves then, okay? All right. Sally says, Pascal, we can't really read your notes on the board. Again, sorry about that. Just check out on YouTube and you'll be able to read it tomorrow. Or today. You can jump right now. All right. My fiance and his friends are determined to buy something as an investment. Bad idea? Any suggestions? It's not a bad idea. I'm still looking at deals right now, okay? So I'm not saying don't buy anything. But when you're buying something, make sure it's a steal. Make sure it's a great deal, right? I'm looking, the house I bought for $280,000 that we're putting $100,000 into the remodel. That house, that area goes for $200 a square foot. That means I could possibly sell this house for $800,000. My profit margin is $400,000 on this house. Now, if the market goes down crazy, right? It gets really bad. I'll still sell it and make $100,000. Or I'll sell it and break even, but I won't lose money. But some people are out there buying properties at retail. And if you're buying properties at retail, it's a problem because if you're buying at retail, if it goes down, you lost your money. Even if you buy it with a 5 or 10% discount, it's going to go down probably 20% easy. Now, if you have money and you're not looking to make a return on a property, like I'll give you an example. I bought my house. It's worth probably like $500,000. I bought it next to my mom's house. I'm like 2 doors down. This was my mom's dream, for me to live next door to her, for her grandkids to be next door to her. Okay, that was her dream. So I don't care if the house goes down. I know it's going to go down. I don't care. She's happy. My wife's happy. My kids are happy. Cool. I'm doing it. They're happy. This is not an investment. I know it's not an investment. I'm fine with that. So, but don't make a move saying you're trying to make money if it's not actually going to make you money. An investment is an investment, period. And almost never is a house, condo, or townhouse an investment. It's 99.9% of the time going to lose money if you try to use it as an investment. And I mean, that's if you account for inflation, okay? Sal says, that's why Trump will be reelected in 2020. The Electoral College knows everything you just stated about the health of the economic conditions. They knew back in 2018 that the economy was bad. That's why they started doing quantitative easing. That's why they cut interest rates. They've been pumping billions of dollars in the overnight banking system to cover the overnight banks because they didn't have the liquidity for the overnight system. So this problem has been going on for a while. This is not new. Real estate moves in Las Vegas, buddy. If you're in Vegas, prepare yourself because you're going to be buying stuff for free. Like it's going to be free. That's how cheap it's going to be. All right. You're going to be buying stuff for dirt cheap. Vegas is basically all tourism. And they've been shut down like nothing has been going on for months. In Vegas, the casinos don't have locks on their doors because they're 24/7. Because of that, they've had to put security guards in front of the casinos because they're not allowed to have anybody in because there's no locks. They can't lock the doors. So if there's no money going in the area and lending is going to crunch, real estate's going to get very cheap. So you're going to have a lot of opportunities to buy a lot of properties in Vegas. Just be prepared to buy them in good areas so you can find good tenants to pay rent. All right, let's see what we got here. Sal's like, don't allow yourself to be sidetracked by the devils out there, Pascal. Thanks, Sal. All right, hey, well, Lucy, what's up? Hey, Pascal, I think Sally means if you can move to the side a little so we can read the board. All right, there you go. Hopefully that helps. Was your first business successful? So the first business, if you can question the sense of successful in how most people would determine it, I would say yes, it was successful. Was it truly successful? The answer is no. In the first business I did I make money? Yes. But the but is I spent a lot of my time to make that money. And that isn't truly successful because if you have to trade your time for money, that's a job. So what I did is that business was me as an employee working for someone for money. So that's not really truly successful. I was profitable, but not successful. Now I open businesses in the first 2 to 5 years, I don't make any money. For 2 to 5 years, I'm just like cha-ching, 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 putting money out. For 2 to 5 years, I don't make money. I spend money. It's negative. After that, it's cha-ching, 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 and it's just coming in, and it keeps coming, and it keeps coming. I spent a year working on the Safety Harbor project, the 16-unit project. I spent $950,000 on the building. I spent roughly about $800,000 on a remodel budget, okay? So I spent about $1.75 million. No money in, all out. Now the project's almost done. It should be 8 to 10,000 in every month, profit. 8 to 10,000 profit every month. So that is, for me, is successful. To make $8 to $10,000 a month and not have to work or do very little work, like maybe an hour a week, It's not much to make $10,000 a month. So if I can find 10 things to only spend 10 hours a week and make $100,000 a month, that'd be awesome. And at that point, I'm just going to hire someone to do those 10 hours of work for me and make the $100,000 a month so I can have more free time. Robert says, I just bought a rental property in February this year, rented it a month after. I wanted to buy a primary residence currently renting for other reasons. I am planning to buy it around May, following your advice. Is 1 year between loan applications okay? I'm putting 20% down. Actually, you can go within a month of rental applications. You don't have to wait a year. You're fine. I mean, at a certain point, I was buying properties every 3 months. So I would buy 4 properties a year. And that's fine because it's not about the loan. When you get to the point of buying investment properties, your credit, your tax returns don't play that big of a part into things. What counts is how much money is that property making? Because what you're buying is an investment. What you're buying is a business. So what the bank is going to look at is they're going to look at that property as, is that property profitable? So the strategies that I put out in my course is about buying properties that are profitable. And then the bank's like, oh yeah, this thing's making money. Of course I'm going to give you the loan. I know I'm going to get my money back because this property is profitable. So they're going to give you the money. You don't have to worry about that. They're actually going to be fighting for your business. So now when I'm going and doing deals, I'm not looking for loans and hoping they give me the money. I'm giving it to these banks and I'm having them fight against each other trying to see who's going to give me the money. They want to give me the money. So that's the thing you got to think. When I was newer in the game, when I was young and 19 and I started, I was like, oh, I hope they give me this money, and thinking that I needed them. You got to understand, guys, you have the power. You don't need them. They need you. And when you know you have something they need, they want your business. They're not going to make a commission unless you get a loan. They don't make money unless you borrow the money. Remember, they make profit off of these loans. So they need you. So you'll be able to get those loans. Just make sure you get a good deal. Because all of it comes down to having a good deal. You got a good deal and you find a good deal in my area, I'll buy it. I'll pay for it. I'll give you a cut. I'll let you be partner. I'll do all the work. The hardest thing is to find a deal. Hardest thing, right? Getting money, the second you have a good deal, people will throw money at you. I got people right now telling me they're going to give me money, and I'm like, calm down, guys. I don't even have a deal yet. Just calm down. When a good deal happens, I will let you know. Just DM me, tell me you're interested, and I'll keep your information. And when I find a good deal, I'll let you know that it's available. But that's the hardest thing, finding a good deal in a good area. Because you can find a good deal in the hood, it's not a good deal. A good deal means it's in a good area. All right. So next question right here is 6-unit mobile home park offered at $160,000 at a 16 cap rate. How do you determine if this is a good deal? So right now you're telling me 6 mobile home park. Okay. So let me ask you, is the 6 mobile homes also include the land? So you own the land and the buildings? That's my first question. That sounds like a pretty good deal. 2, if you're getting 16 caps at $160,000, the loans are like you're bringing in very little money. So the numbers don't make sense. Like that's just really little money. Now let me ask you this. You said you own the land. The answer was yes, you own the land. Do you own the mobile homes as well? Or do other people own the mobile homes and they're paying you lot rent? That's another important piece of information. So while we wait for that answer, Robert says, thanks. Robert also says, your course is amazing, by the way. I can't wait for the next chapter. I just filmed the part 5 of chapter 4. Chapter 4 is the next chapter that's going to be coming up. And it was really good. At the end, I know a section's good when I'm like, man, That was good. And then Luke's one of my assistants. He helps me with social and he helps me with the video recording and stuff like that. And at the end of it, he's like, "Wow, that was good." And I was like, that section right there was worth the whole course. That section right there. I mean, I break down how to unlock to go from being qualified for a $500,000 loan to unlock the potential of being able to qualify for $1 million loan to buy a piece of real estate. So the follow-up is sellers trying to get rid of the land in the 6 mobile homes. People pay rent / each mobile home. So you own all 6 mobile homes and you own the land. That's what you're saying. Because what again, $160,000 is not a lot of money for 6 mobile homes. So that's a decent deal there, especially if you own the land. But a 16 cap on 160,000 is 16,000, 16,006, 6. So now you're talking about like 22,000 a year, 23,000 a year income off of that. I mean, that's good. That's good. Just make sure the condition of mobile homes, because the big thing with mobile home guys, there's a lot of profit in mobile homes. Okay, I want to start buying mobile homes in good areas. All right, but the thing about mobile homes is they could be extremely costly to fix. So you need to make sure the condition of the mobile home, because you could be stuck with gutting it and finding out, wow, I got to redo the framing, redo the drywall, redo the insulation, redo the electrical, redo the plumbing, redo the AC. And you're like, wow, I bought this mobile home. In Florida, you can get mobile homes for $1,000 because it cost $15,000 to fix it up. And by the time you're done, you bought it for $1,000, spent $15,000, you're $16,000 in, and then when you try to resell it, you can only get $20,000. So it's obviously the money's not there for all the time and energy you spent. So just be very careful about the condition of the mobile homes. All right. Julian says, I can't wait to watch it. I also been loving the course and can't wait for the loan section. Just been rewatching credit section. I mean, that's very smart, Julian. Rewatch it multiple times. Believe me, I studied this stuff for 5 years before I bought my first deal. Because again, I was 14 when I started, and it was until I was 19 I was able to buy my first duplex. This stuff that I'm teaching in my course, it's not common knowledge. You're not going to be like, oh yeah, I knew this. It's not something that you're taught. So when I'm telling you this, you're at first wow, but when you're wowed, doesn't mean you act. I meet a lot of people that I teach this information, just tell them the information, and they don't do anything about it because it is not common. So what they do is they revert back to what they're used to doing. And that doesn't help anybody. That doesn't help them. I mean, it doesn't matter to me, but it doesn't help them. So you have to watch it multiple times. So it's totally ingrained in you to know, okay, this is what I'm going to do. This is the right thing to do. All right. So it's important to read books multiple times, to watch my course multiple times. So it's deeply instilled in you. So Michael Mason says, do we still have access to the new chapters of your course as you add on, or do we have to buy them? No, they're added on. So there's 5 sections to the course. In the bonus section, you have access to all of those sections within it. And I'm going to be coming up with a special Facebook group, and anyone who bought the course is automatically in the Facebook group. I'm also going to probably create a special live event to only the people that bought the course this way, so I can be able to focus on their Q&A and be able to give them more deep answers when they have their questions. Robert says, do you think the market in Houston will go significantly down next May? I think there's a good chance for that because in Texas, there is still an underlying oil presence. And since oil has been so cheap, the profitability isn't there. So that's going to affect the underlying economy in Texas. So I do think it's going to go down. How much is it going to go down? It's a question mark. Do I think it should go down at least 20%? I think it will. I'm pretty sure it's going to go down at least 20%. Lucy says, I think it's not only a course for RE, it's very useful for other businesses as well. Correct. My course is not real estate investment. The course is Foundations of Personal Finance. This is what everybody should learn in high school. Not people that want to become real estate investors. No. If you are planning to live in the current world, if you're living in America, Mexico, Europe, Asia, every market now, every economy functions in this similar way. Is it 100% the same in every country? No, but it's very similar. Okay. We're living in a free market, and these are the concepts, and these are the things this is how the game is played. So you need to understand this is how credit is played. These are how tax returns are used. These are how loans are used. This is how you find a good deal and negotiate a good deal. If you're not buying real estate, this is still useful for you to know to buy cars. This is still useful for you to buy anything you're planning to spend money on. So these concepts are core concepts that you need to live your life by for your personal finances. And that's how it's called Foundations of Personal Finance. If you then use these skills and compound on top of each other, you can make a lot of money using it in real estate or in flipping cars or any type of business you're using it on. So these concepts, I didn't just apply it in my real estate business. I applied it in all my businesses. I applied it in everything I do in my life. So, but thank you, Lucy, for bringing that up. Michael's thing, so dope. I'm excited. Robert Guzman. All right, Daniel says, what is a great business to start during a recession? So a great business to start during a recession. So what are people going to need? One, I think anything that is you working on your own without having company and overhead is going to be profitable. So if you start doing stuff on your own as a service to people, it's going to be profitable because you're going to be able to have reduced prices compared to the competition that has big overhead. Two, any type of business you start during a down economy, a recession, a depression, normally is very successful out of the hole once things get good. So any business started in a recession or depression has done very well out. Anyone marketing during a recession or depression, once they get out, you only have a 15% lead on their competition. So it depends on what you like to do. Any business that's involving in buying things from people. So real good example, buying gold, buying silver. I did a lot of that in the 08 recession, 08, 09. So like say 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I was buying coins. I was buying gold. I was buying silver. I was buying all those collectibles because collectibles fall hard during a down market. Collectibles fall hard during a down market. Collectibles are luxuries. Warren Buffett says, anytime you buy anything you don't need, you'll eventually have to sell something you need to make up for it. Because the rationale is you don't have enough savings. And most Americans don't have enough savings. Here's a statistic for you guys. And this is why I invest a lot into retirement living or communities that are like 45 and up, 55 and up, these style. Now, these communities that I own, they don't, they allow people to be younger, but the way I style the communities, it's aiming towards someone that's 45, 55, 65 years old and up. One, every day, 10,000 people turn 65. Every day in America, 10,000 people turn 65 every day. And this is a trend to keep going for the next 15 years. So serving this market is going to be very profitable. Two, of those people, or actually of all Americans, 70% of Americans don't have $400 in their savings. Of those people turning 65, 60% of them do not have $10,000 saved. That's why I'm planning to buy mobile homes as well. So the point is, most people don't have savings. Most people are not prepared for a market crash. So if you buy those collectibles at deep discounts because people need cash, you can then find someone else to sell them to for a profit. It's a great business to be in. I did very well doing it with gold, silver, coins, and I'm still going to buy more gold, silver, and coins when the market goes down. And I don't know if you guys noticed, gold's been going up. So anyone who's listening and bought gold when I told you guys to, you should have made some money. Da, 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 da. All right, let's see if IG works.
What's down, money?
What's good? How you doing?
What you talking about, B? What you on
I'm
here
talking
talking
business. What questions do you have for us?
about money. I just called in here when I heard you talk about making money, so I had to join the live to see what kind of money you talk about making, B.
So I know how to make it all. What type of business do you own?
Real estate.
Real estate. All right. So I own a lot of real estate. I started buying when I was 19.
What you know about forgivable loans in real estate?
So right now, if you go to your local market, right? If you go to your local housing market, what they'll do is they'll give you a down payment assistant loan. So they'll give you normally up to $17,000, and you can use that $17,000 for your down payment. So you can get an FHA loan.
I'm saying that's simple. That's simple game.
Okay.
I'm talking forgivable loans by placing minorities and low income families into the homes, and you don't have to pay the loan back on the home. $100,000 to $400,000 loan on the property.
Okay.
Look like this. Keep in mind, I just look like this. Come on, let's get. We're gonna go up a little bit for the people. We'll run the views up a little bit. Come on,
Okay.
let's get a little more into it.
So normally when you're talking about those type of loans, you're talking about neighborhoods like in Detroit and different areas like that where they're very depressed and lower income, where they're trying to get people into the housing since a lot of the houses are vacant and open.
This all over America. This all over America.
Okay.
Anywhere in America, you can get a forgivable loan on a home.
So again, you're talking about, but you're talking about lower income areas and areas that they're trying to put people in. This is not like you can't do this into like a middle class area.
Why you can't?
Because again, they don't offer them. Again, I have a friend of mine, his Marquez, and he is the VP of housing for Sunshine, and he does those type of loans that you're talking about. Normally, the amount of the loan is dependent on the income of the area. So you're saying $100,000 to $400,000. In our area, it's not $400,000. It doesn't go that high. In our area, they normally go for about 180, and they normally the top about 220 for those homes because it's based off of market pricing and conditions. So yeah, they'll put in someone. For example, what you're talking about, they'll put people into like a 4-2 house, and normally the people that I'm seeing getting into those deals, right? I'm normally seeing a grandma get the property, and she has like 3 or 4 grandkids, and those are the people who are normally getting those forgivable loans. Now, it's not technically forgivable. What's happening is they're giving, instead of someone being put into a Section 8 housing and they're paying rent towards the landlord, they'll put someone else into this house. They'll put the grandma with 3 grandkids into this house. And then they're paying the mortgage payments for her because they're going to pay anyway for the Section 8 housing. They might as well pay the Section 8, this money towards the loan, and then they end up owning the home after 30 years. All they really have to do is maintain it. What's up? It's like HUD housing, but they own the house. The grandma will own the house after 30 years. And that's normally who I see get these type of loans here. And again, I'm specialized in the Tampa Bay market. Now, in your market, it might be a little bit different.
Market in America, the same thing. No matter if it's in Detroit, home of Louisiana, New Orleans, Louisiana.
I would disagree.
Jackson, Mississippi. The value of the properties might change because of the area.
But also the government programs function differently.
The area which the property is in, the crime rate, it depends. Depends, my man.
Again, I just said that it changes. It depends. I said it's not all the same.
It changes, but I'm saying, but what I'm talking about, forgivable loans, the forgivable loans on your property. That's for anybody. It don't matter the age. I'm saying, like, I'm 30 years old and I have a piece of property. I go to the bank and I get a loan on a property, right?
Okay. I hear you.
And the loan becomes forgivable as long as I place a minority or low income family in the home. You get me?
I hear what you're saying. Feel free to DM me any additional information on it. But there are certain conditions to get a forgivable loan. It is not as easy as what you're saying.
What's the conditions?
Well, one, you have to qualify. You have to qualify for the forgivable loan. Again, I have Section 8 housing, and I have friends that do what you're talking about. But the conditions, it's not as easy as what you're saying, right? There still is qualifications.
Section 8 is HUD, right?
Huh?
HUD, right?
Well, I'm not HUD housing. I have Section 8 housing. It's through Pinellas. Yes, but it's through Pinellas County Housing, so I don't go directly through HUD. I go through Pinellas County Housing to get the Section 8 voucher. And it's, for example, like in Florida, it's not like your property is approved as a HUD housing property. In Florida, the person is approved for housing voucher. And then the property is certified after the person. Huh?
You're stuttering now, man. I say you're stuttering now.
Yeah. And your point is?
Like you're mixing, you lose me on your words.
So the person is approved for housing voucher. Once they find the property, then the property has an inspection and it gets re-inspected every 11 months. So a building is not considered a HUD housing building. A person gets the voucher.
But listen, that shit you talking ABC. You get what I'm saying?
I know what you're saying, but I'm going into the details of the ABC, how to do it.
The shit you talking ABC, like, you're going to get your voucher and you qualifying for Section 8 and they place you in a home and they give you so much. Come on, black people been doing that shit for years. The white man do it. The white woman do it. The white woman do it for the white man in her name. Because the white woman is a minority because she is a woman. You feel me?
I know, yes.
That's what I'm saying. I'm saying kick some shit that you know. I'm actually about some forgivable loans. You telling me feel free to DM you some shit. This will be $1 information what I'm telling you. And then
You're telling me about okay, so now how you give us, I'm going to give you an opportunity. Give me the details on how to qualify for a forgivable loan in Florida.
In Florida?
Yeah.
One being a minority.
Okay, that's not detailed on how someone can apply for a forgivable loan. I'm telling you to apply for a forgivable loan.
Name a bank in Florida. Wells Fargo?
Yeah.
Government bank in America? Wells Fargo. I'm in Louisiana.
Okay.
So we're going to say Wells Fargo. Y'all got Wells Fargo? We got Wells Fargo. So I know y'all got Wells Fargo. Strong home there for Wells Fargo. But check it out. You go to Wells Fargo and you ask your banker. But if you white, you automatically gonna qualify for it because your interest rate as a white man is better than a black man.
That's incorrect.
That's true. See, they got some new shit coming out for black man. Listen, man, they got some shit coming out for black people because at one point, listen, as a black man, if you go to a bank and say, "Hey, let me get $100,000 loan on this house," right? You have to have $100,000 worth of collateral to get that $100,000 loan.
Incorrect.
A white man that just signed it over there to give him $100,000 loan.
That's incorrect. Why do I know it's incorrect? I was a lender. How do I know this? I also do taxes.
And you ain't white.
Huh? I'm not white. I wasn't even born here.
I know you wasn't. That's why I'm saying the rules is a little different for you. Because you're a minority too.
Didn't matter. I know the game. And I played the game.
So what's the game?
The game is if you find a deal that's good, you're going to be able to get a loan. And credit does not determine by color. That's why I love credit. Because it doesn't matter what skin you are. It doesn't matter how old you are. It matters if you're credible.
Your interest determine your color.
Nope, incorrect.
Like I just said, listen, if I'm a black
because man, let me tell you this. How come I have better credit rates and how I get better interest than white people do?
Shit, it depends. Listen.
It's because I have an 820 credit score.
No, listen, you ain't got to pay taxes, man. You don't pay taxes on that shit.
I don't pay taxes. You're right. I don't pay taxes.
All right then. Come on, kick
Because I know the game.
Let's be real to the people.
I'm telling you, I don't pay taxes, and I teach it on my course. There's a lot of people out there that teach the same thing. Huh?
Like if you go get a gas station, you ain't gonna pay taxes on that shit, money. Keep it real.
I know, because I know the game.
All right, then.
I am being real.
You can't use the same game you use, and you can't use for everybody. You gotta kick in the loophole when you speaking this shit online.
Anybody can do this. Anybody can do this.
Yeah, anybody can do it. You put your mind to it, you can do it. But what I'm saying is, you can't kick all that saying, oh, you do this step and do that. Oh, look, go apply for a Section 8 voucher and this and that. Motherfucker been doing that shit in the project for years.
But you just anyway. You have a good night. I'm gonna answer some more questions.
You know what I mean?
All right, that guy was nice, but I want to. Every time I said one thing, he said the opposite. If I said the opposite, he said the other thing. Like, all right, man. All right, it was nice. It was nice, but. Every time I say one thing, you can't say the opposite. Like, but nice guy. I wish him the best. And it sounds like that guy's not, I mean, just a little bit. Okay, so I work out and with my powerlifting team, right? I'm like one of the only non-African Americans in this group. And we all, after we're done lifting, we talk. We pray together after we're done lifting, and then we sit down, we talk with each other. And there's one common thing that we all say, is that if you think you're a plucked chicken, then it's going to be hard for you to go anywhere. So what does a plucked chicken mean? A lot of times people will make us think that by being a minority, we have a disadvantage. They'll make us think like, oh, we're a minority. We have a disadvantage. It's not fair. Let me say something. We're not plucked chickens, right? We can do whatever we want to do. I wasn't born here. I got my citizenship when I was 30. That's 4 years ago. But I was able to work hard, save my money, play the game. Everyone's mad because they're like, oh, this is not fair. It's only unfair if you think the game is played one way, but it's really played a different way. What I'm trying to do is teach you how the game is really played so you can play by those rules and win. That's what I'm trying to teach you guys, right? Is that we can win no matter what. Because let me tell you this, despite that people thought I was too young, people thought I didn't know what I was talking about. People thought all these like mixed feelings about me. They didn't care when I can come up with a check. Because when they see that you have the green, they don't care what color your skin is. Now I'm going to get off my soapbox. Back to the question. All right. So I'm glad I got my massage and my adjustment prior to this. It got me going. All right, let's see. Where's the questions at? All right. Julian says, I can't, man. Laugh out loud. Sounds like too much emotions involved in this income of information. All right. Julian, I don't know what you mean by that. Michael says, do you need to brush up on his, it said, brush up on his info. He seems to think he's an expert. A hard head is the most difficult to penetrate. I'm just putting out the knowledge, absorb at your own pace, to each his own. Daniel says, my buddy said the course is 10 times better than going to college. I want to see you guys be successful, right? I want to see you guys do really well, right? My goal is that you guys are doing amazing well. Eddie says, what is Cardone Capital? So Cardone Capital is basically where you can put your money with Cardone and you can buy apartment complexes with him. Personally, I don't think that's that great because you're only returning roughly 3% dividend, and then you're going to make maybe another 2 to 3% when they sell the property. So you made 5% annualized return. I mean, the deals that I do, my investors at least make 15% IRR. So that means 3 times what you would make with them. So I don't personally think it's that great. All right, let's see. So yeah, I like this comment. It says, I'm black and I'm powerful. So I work out with Tony. Tony is 62 years old. He weighs 165 pounds and he squats over 600 pounds. He deadlifts 600 pounds. He's 62 years old and weighs 165 pounds. He's a strong man. So, and he's black. So actually, again, I'm like one of the only non-black people in my group. Says, gotta slow down. There are disadvantages. Minorities need to overcome more obstacles. What I'm saying is there is obstacles out there. But if you think that, oh man, woe was me, I have these issues, then it could be harder for someone to get going and to take the steps to try to better themselves. What we say is that we are strong, we are capable, and we're going to push to keep growing and move forward despite the obstacles, despite the disadvantages. So I understand that there are disadvantages. I've went through many disadvantages and many obstacles, but we cannot limit ourselves by our thinking that, it is too hard, right? We have to keep pushing past these things. I know I don't have to explain. I know they're saying, Pascal, you don't have to explain. I'm not trying to explain, but I'm trying to penetrate to say that we can do more. We are capable of more. So let me put it like this. Most of the people that bought my course are minorities. Most of the people that bought my course are minorities. I'm a minority. They're a minority. We have a very similar mindset in the sense that we weren't given anything and we're going to make something from nothing. And those are the people that I resonate with. The people that come onto my channel and they're like, how do I get rich? And I tell them how to do it. And they're like, oh shit, you got to work, unfollow. I shit you not. I'll answer someone's question. They'll get a real answer that involves them doing something to better themselves. And they're like, unfollow. Why? Too much work? You're right. No one gave me this. You think someone just came and handed me the IA? I worked for that. I built up to that level. Now, did I learn a lot of tricks and a lot of hacks along the way to get there faster? Yeah. I made sure to use every advantage I could to get there as fast as possible. That's why I had 23 units, because I used all the hacks that I learned. So, all right. And these comments are funny. All right, guys, I'm getting like a billion comments, so I'm sorry if I don't see it. So, Pira, what do you mean? What doesn't work like that? I want to know what doesn't work like that. All right, Sal says, this has to do with self-employment tax. Is there a minimum of AGI per year that anyone makes that doesn't have to pay income tax on that income? So Sal, your income tax, say for example, say you're married, it's you and your wife. You're allowed to make $24,000 a year and pay no income tax. But if you have self-employment income, there is tax that is due that is based off of your Medicare and your Social Security. That's roughly 17%. So you will have to pay 17% on that $25,000 of AGI. But you will not owe income tax if you're a married couple filing jointly with no children. Now, if you do have children as well, you would then could get the additional tax credit and different tax credits, which then would show you not paying anything. But in reality, you did pay, and the child tax credits wrote off how much you owed. He is so rude and disrespectful. It happens. All right. Milad says, I want to invest into buying a house. I'm 17 and saving up. My goal is to buy a rental property at 19 or 20. How much credit do you think I need? Well, you don't need much. To buy a first property, you only need about a 680 credit score. I mean, sometimes you can get as low as 620 when the market conditions are good. So it's not so much just credit. It is credit, tax returns, ability to repay. That is a really important one. Consistency of income. That is what's needed for being able to qualify for a loan. All right, so let's see here. Eddie Brazil says, okay, I already answered that one. Next question is, how much is the course? The course, I think it was just on sale for $497. Julian says, I meant it does, like he just wanted to get the point across that it's hard for people in Louisiana, but like you said, no one should just sit down and complain about something that can be in their control. So Julian, it was weird because he was trying to say it's easy to get free money for being a minority, which I was like, okay, that's a fine point. Tell me how you're getting this free money, right? He didn't say how. And then he said that because he's black, his interest rate's higher. How does that make sense? How are you telling me you just got free money in a free house with the government paying for it and letting you live for free, but your credit's higher? Well, if it's free, how are you paying any credit or any interest? It wasn't logical. It didn't make any sense, but whatever, to each his own. All right. Sal says, thanks, Pascal, for answering my question. You're welcome. All right, so next question is, quick question. Can you sell your home without your property? If so, what is that called? Can you sell your home without your property? I don't understand what you mean by that question. Everyone on YouTube, thanks for the thumbs up. I appreciate it. Everyone on IG, thanks for all the hearts. I really appreciate all the love. All right. What do you think about Forex? Not a big fan. I don't like Forex. I don't like day trading. I don't like that just feels like it's a lot of time spent. Could you flip a home with FHA 203K loan? Yes, you can. You can definitely do that. What do you think of renting a townhouse? I don't like it. If you run the numbers, you'll see that it is not profitable to rent a townhouse. It's like, what do you make, $100 a month? Maybe. And that's if no one is like, you don't lose any tenants, and if nothing breaks, there's not really any money in it. I'm about to go live with you. Get some real info. That guy messed everything up. What's up, Joe? I'm about to go live with you to get some real info. That guy messed it up. Joe, anyway, guys, Joe owns 65 units, right? 65 units. I'm working with him, trying to get everything set up, setting up all of his financials properly, so he's able to go out and blow up his business, go from 65 units to 180 units. I think his goal for next year, by next year is to have 250 units. Me and him were talking a couple of days ago. My goal is 350 units. All right, so Lucy says, each one of us has the power to do and be whatever we want. This is a great country. I'm a minority, by the way. Eddie says, Lucy, you go, girl. Lucy says, we are neighbors, Eddie. Argentina, present. All right, so next question is, what is what is different for DACA recipients who are trying to invest in real estate? What's DACA? I don't know what that abbreviation is. Daniel says, where is that bank that at? Because my lawyers can help, and it's about who you know and credit score. Get his course first. Yes, get my course. You'll learn a lot. And again, if you have a bank that's charging you more money because you're a minority, Daniel's lawyer will help sue them for you, okay? Daniel's like El Salvador here. So I got El Salvador, I got Brazil, I got Argentina. I basically got everyone in South America here. So how should I start investing in real estate? And what is the minimum amount of cash I need? So really, if you're looking to buy a $200,000 property, you only need about $7,000 down payment and maybe $5,000 in closing costs. But you can get a seller's credit for about $6,000. So that would shave off how much money you know. That would only leave you with $6,000. You can you can pull money out of your 401k up to $10,000 as a down payment option as well. So at that point, you would need no additional money, and you'd have $4,000 left over for remodeling. Not really much capital needed compared to how big of a loan you're getting. I deferred action for childhood revivals. To be honest, I have not heard of that before. Mexico is here. I got Mexico, Cuban, Salvadorian. I got everybody here. All right. Okay, so if the DACA kids actually have their documentation, then they will be able to qualify for all of these loans. If they don't, they're still able to get certain loans, but they're normally required to have 30% down for those loans. So it depends. Did they actually get their green card yet? Because if they got their green card, then they can get a lot of these programs with the 3.5% down, or say a standard conventional loan with 20% down. But if they don't actually have their green card yet and they're still in the process of getting it, they would go after a different loan that is for people that don't have socials and aren't don't have full status yet, and they'd be required to put down 30%. Thank you for clarification, Eddie. So yeah, you would roughly need about 30% down. Also, an option is to invest with somebody else to do the deal, because once you start going to commercial loans, it's not important. All that information doesn't matter as much. Said, why buy your course? Why buy your course and do it ourselves? When we can invest, give you our money and get 15% every year on our investment. So Eddie, I learned to do it myself. So I'm teaching you guys how to do it yourselves as well. So you guys can go out and do it yourselves. Now, what's going to happen is at a certain point, you're not going to want to do it anymore, right? You're going to probably buy 1 4 unit. You're going to make good money. You're going to see, wow, this stuff is real, what Pascal's telling me. But at this point, I'm making enough money in my small business. I'm making enough money working at my job, and I don't want to spend the time to do this. I'd rather invest with Pascal. So some people will want to go and do it themselves first before investing with me. And some people just are literally right now DMing me saying, hey, I want to invest. I don't even want to do it myself. I'd rather spend the time with my kids. Let me just give you the money and you take care of it. You handle it. It's really up to the person. I'm giving everyone the option. Now, either way, my course is very cheap. The knowledge you're going to learn, you need to know this knowledge, because if I'm making certain moves, you need to know why I'm making those moves. Part 2, this is foundations of personal finance. So anything financial is going to be based off of this information. It's going to be multiple correlations with what I'm teaching you in my course and in your financial life. So you need to understand these concepts so you can make smart financial decisions. That's what I'm saying. So the largest reason is that you need to understand how the financial system works. This course teaches you that. This will help you avoid all the assumptions. Is he trying to teach us to fish, Eddie? I am trying to teach you guys to fish. Daniel says, ooh, Latinos, let's start a big real estate fund or trust with Pascal. I'm down. Let's just give it some time though, because I think some amazing deals are coming. All right. I'm trying to learn how to fish, buy real estate, and grow. Smart. All right, guys, let's get in here. Let's see if there's who wants to go live. All right, it's not working. Do you recommend me turning my garage into an ADU? ADU? Are you talking about where you can rent out space in your house to people on this new app? Is that what you're talking about? What does ADU stand for? MJ, what's up? So I'm considering investing in other states. I live in LA and it's too expensive here. So now, LA is going to go down hard. 340,000 renters are not paying their rent. So lots of landlords are going to be going under. Lots. So great opportunity for you to buy after May of 2021. Okay? So be patient, especially in those really hot markets. Be patient. A lot of people are like, oh, no way, this is not going to happen, blah, blah, blah. We're going to see. And you're going to see I'm right. All right, MJ says, how feasible is it to invest in another state while living in LA? I mean, it's pretty easy. It depends. Like if you're going to do it yourself, it's going to be harder. It's not impossible, it's just harder. One of the things I know that tells me the market is inflated, which is a new IG video I just put out. So go on my IG, the most recent video I just put up, check it out. It talks about how I know a market's overinflated. When I see people from LA investing in my market, when I see people that are like foreigners investing in my market, I'm a foreigner. What do I mean by a foreigner? I'm saying someone from Mexico that doesn't even live in America buying properties in Tampa and never even saw it. They're just buying it and they're just like, making money off of it. That's cool. That's fine with me. But how I know it's overinflated is if you think you're not making any money in LA, you're not making any money anywhere else, and you're buying property in Florida, sight unseen, you don't really know much about this area, like compared to how much I know about the area, that means it's overinflated. It's going to go down. It's too hot. So you can do that once the market goes down. But by the time you pay realtor fees and all these other fees and whatever, you're going to make the same amount of money as investing part of a real estate group. You're going to be making basically the same amount of money, where you end up likely making more money being part of the group than investing by yourself outside and paying all those real estate fees. Because remember, the realtor is going to charge first month every time someone moves out. They're going to be charging 10%. It's just a lot of fees you're going to end up paying, and it's going to eat it up. Then when something needs to be fixed, they're going to be paying retail to get something fixed instead of a reduced wholesale cost. So it's just all the fees eat it all up. 4 common mistakes in real estate: not enough cash. 2, line of credit. 3, lenders will be there. And then 4, thinking lending conditions will be the same. Thinking lending conditions will be the same. Now, again, this is what newbie real estate investors think prior to a recession. They think all of these are the problems that they have. They don't have enough cash. They think they can use their line of credit when they can't use their line of credit. It's probably going to disappear. Thinking that there's going to be a lot of lenders out there. There's not going to be a lot of lenders out there. And 4, thinking that the lenders that are remaining are going to be having the same conditions of the past. No, the conditions tighten. It gets harder. They require more down payment. All those factors change. I have $8,000. Do you think I could buy a property in Florida, especially with an FHA loan? Yes, you could, but you would have to move here. You would have to be a resident here. How can one still start while living in counties like LA where the average housing cost is $500K? So I think property is going to drop significantly, as I said, and you're going to be able to, and again, if you chapter 4, section 5 of my course talks about how someone that thinks they can afford a $500,000 property in reality probably can afford $1 million property by making the suggestions I put out in the video and be able to qualify for a 4 unit at that time, where say it's $250,000 a unit. Again, there might be smaller units than you would get, say, a $500,000 house, but still, it's a great option. Question is, did you learn from a mentor? Answer is yes. I actually learned from many mentors. I learned from credit mentors that would teach me about credit, tax returns, lending. I mean, I've had many, many mentors teaching me different things, right? Construction. I learned all the different aspects and I was able to put them all together. Evictions. I mean, I can do my own eviction. I know all the rules about that. So, excuse me. If I get a conventional loan, buy a house, do I have to physically live in the home in order to rent it out? Well, no, you can't physically live in the house and rent it out, right? Unless you're renting out rooms. But can you get a conventional loan to buy a rental house? Answer is yes, you can. It's not going to be profitable. You're not going to make much money. It's better for you to spend more money and buy a duplex, triplex, and quadplex. That is more likely for you to be profitable. What's up, guys? All right. MJ says, does that mean I start saving today so we can invest in the coming year? Wink. I want to learn more about investing with you. So I would say this. Great deals are going to come in a year. The more money you have saved, the more money, not saved, but the more money you have available to invest, the more you're going to be able to get 10 to 20 times on your money. I strongly believe we're going to be able to make 10 to 20 times our money in the coming recession. If we buy in the recession and when we climb out by year 5, by year 10, you're going to make 10 and then 20 times your money on that return. So if you have $10,000, you should be able to make $100,000. If you have $100,000, you should be able to make $1 million. Okay, so the question is, how much money do you want to make? And most of the people ask me, they're like, well, Pascal, are you afraid about this or that or the other? I say, no, I don't buy any deals I think I'm going to lose on. I only buy deals I'm going to make money on. I turn down all the ones that I think are losers. So the question normally comes to is, how much money am I going to make? Not if I'm going to make money. A lot of people speculate. Speculate means they're guessing they're going to make money. I don't speculate on a deal. When I buy a deal, I know I'm going to make money. And I think I'm going to make about this much money. And if things go well, I'll make a lot more. So I don't speculate, right? I invest. All right. Michael says, is it legal to rent out a bedroom in your house? I mean, yes, unless there's a specific law in your area that says, no, you can't. But there's no law that I know of in Florida that says you cannot rent out a room in your house. Now, you can own a property in a condo community, and in that condo community or townhouse community, they can say whoever rents in this community has to have a background search. So you have to make sure you comply by the rules. But I've never heard of a rule saying that you cannot have a person rent out a room. You can't have a roommate. It's basically called a roommate, right? Like you can't have a roommate. Like I've never heard of a law like that. So What should I do with all the money I have saved in the bank now till the recession gets here? So I'm not going to tell you exactly what to do with your money. I'm going to tell you what I'm doing with my money. I'm buying gold. If you can find physical, cool. Do not overpay, but I'm buying gold, silver. I'm buying ticker GOLD. I'm buying ticker GLD. Okay. Those are the things I'm buying because I feel that as the economy gets worse, people run to gold and the price will go up. So I'll earn some money. So far, I put in some money. I've earned probably like 15% on my gold in the last maybe month. So I just, again, bought it, sat it there, forgot about it, and I made 15%. So, yeah. And those are the types of moves I make. Why don't I like day trading? Why don't I like Forex? Why don't I like that stuff? Because I don't want to sit in a computer all day and just click, 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 click. I'd rather just, spend. I like my businesses, right? I like spending time working with people and doing financial services. So I'd rather make some money there. And then some of the profit I take from there, I buy gold and I just forget about it and it goes up. Does gold always go up? No. Do I think it's going to go up over the next 6 months, a year? Yes. Because when people are scared, they buy gold. So that's the way I do things. So, Brian says, yes, Michael Mason, I'm doing that now, renting out 3 rooms. So we got someone here renting out 3 rooms out of their house. It's called house hacking. So if you ever hear anyone talk about house hacking, they're renting out rooms in their house, having the tenants, those roommates pay them rent. And normally the money that they're collecting is more than their mortgage, taxes, and insurance on the property. So they're living there for free. All right. All right. Next question. What's up, Alan? Alan's question is, do you have a rule about buying points to lower the interest rate in a loan? When do you think it's worth it to do it? It's so normally when you're buying points on a loan, so that's a really good question. Do I own Bitcoin? I do own some crypto, but I don't own Bitcoin. And my crypto, the stuff I own in crypto currently is sheerly speculative. Do I think that blockchain is the future? Yes. Do I know which blockchain is going to win? No. So that's why it's speculative, because if you cannot say who's going to win and have solid backing, it's a speculation. So the question is, how do you determine when you buy points on a loan? So how I determine when I buy points on a loan, and again, everyone on IG, on YouTube, it's not backwards. On IG, it's going to look backwards. If you go right now, you can go on YouTube and check it out, or you can go tomorrow at 10 a.m. and check it out. So when I'm buying points, what is points? When you get a loan, let's just say you got a loan right now and it's 3.5%. Okay? 3.5% is your interest rate on a loan. And they say when points is what they charge you for your interest rate. They can charge you. They can charge you 0 points. And we're going to talk about a $100,000 loan, okay? They can charge you 0 points, or they can charge you 1 point. And if they charge you 1 point, it's 1% of your loan amount, so that's $1,000. So the question we have here, Alan is asking, would you pay for points, and when would you pay for points? So normally, when I would pay for points is if the charge that I'm paying to buy down the rate, I can recoup my investment within 3 years. What does that mean? That means if they're charging me points and I can make my $1,000 back within max 3 years. Normally, I want it less than 3 years, but I'm going to say 3 years from now. So if you take this number and divide it by 36, whatever they're charging you in points, you divide that number by 36, that is how much money your payment needs to go down. So the monthly payment needs to go down by whatever this is. All right? So, if they're charging you $1,000 in points, that means your monthly payment, give me a second. Your monthly payment's going to go down roughly $30. Okay? If your monthly payment does not go down by at least $30, it's not worth to pay the $1,000. Because in my mind, you're getting 30% return on your investment. Does that make sense? Any questions about that? Would I recommend refinancing? Yes, I would recommend refinancing, pulling all your cash out. And anybody who wants to go live, you can sign out of the live event, sign back in, and then request to go live. Do you have a rule about buying points to lower the interest rate in a loan? The answer is yes. That's what I just talked about. So if you're buying points to lower the interest rate on a loan, right? If you're paying 1% of the loan amount, right? It's $1,000. You're paying $1,000 to buy down the rate. So that means the payment roughly would need to go down $300 a month in this example to recoup your investment. So normally what I'm trying to tell you is this: I need to get at least a 30% return on my investment to buy down the rate. All right. Can I talk about your course? Yes. So the course is called Foundations of Personal Finance. The link to the course is in my bio on IG. You'll learn about credit. Basically, this is everything that you did not learn in school that you need to know how the financial system works, okay? We talked about credit. How do you actually build credit? The logic and the concept about how credit truly works in America. Most people think if they pay off their car loan, their credit score goes up. When you pay off your car loan, most of the time your credit score goes down. So it explains why. It teaches you that. Tax returns. Most people do tax returns as simple as possible. But in reality, if you're doing it the simple way, you're probably hurting yourself because it's keeping you from getting loans in the future. So make sure that you're doing your taxes properly. In the class, it teaches you how tax returns are used for lending and how tax returns are assessed to determine your eligibility to repay. Next, it talks about loans and how loans work in this country. It talks about front-end ratios and back-end ratios in for loans. It talks about finding a deal and closing on a deal. And what is a good deal, right? What is a good investment deal? And then the last section, we have a bonus section talking about how an intelligent investor thinks. There's a way that we need to think. So my dad worked very hard. My mom worked very hard. Both foreigners like me, right? I wasn't born here. They weren't born here. They came here and they're doing things the old school way. And then I meet a lot of Americans here and they also work very hard and they're doing things the old school way. And I'm seeing them save up all their cash and they're like, look, I'm saving up all this cash and I'm paying off my house and I'm doing all this stuff that used to work back in the 80s. In the 80s, interest rates were 15%, 18% for your home. Credit cards were like 28%. The way things worked was different back then. Back then, Our dollar was backed by gold. After 1980, they took our dollar off of the gold standard. It was not backed by gold anymore. Our dollar is 100% a loan. Our money, if you read our money, it says note. Note means loan. The government is giving you money that is based off of loans. So if the common question says, if all the cash that's in my pocket right now is a loan, all right. Federal Reserve note. Federal Reserve note. It says right here, it says, this note is legal tender. This note, it's hard to see on YouTube, but it says, this note is legal tender for all debts, public and private. This is a note. The government, Congress, approved printing of money. When they approved printing of money, they put out a loan. They put out all these bonds. And when they're sold, we print more money. So these are basically loans on paper. And the government says, hey, we promise to pay this loan back. And then they give it, they put this money into the system and they give it to us. And they're like, here you go. Here's that money. We got a loan for it. And now we're passing over this $100 loan to you. You have it. So if your goal is to have $100 in your bank when you retire, if your goal is to have if your goal is to have $1 million in your checking account when you retire, because some people have told me that. They're like, my goal is to have $1 million in cash in my checking account when I retire. I was like, you do understand that your money, this cash that's in your checking account, is a loan. And if it's a loan, they're like, but if it's a loan, that means loans, you pay interest on loans. And I said, you do pay interest on that cash. They're like, no, the bank pays me interest. I said, no, you pay interest. They're like, but I don't send any checks to the government. I said, that's correct, you don't. Every year, the government causes inflation. That means this $100 next year could only purchase $97 worth of stuff next year because it's worth less. The next year, another 3%. Another 3%. In 10 years, this dollar is only worth 70% of its purchasing power. It lost 30% of its purchasing power. That means in 10 years, you need to spend $130, which you spend today, $100 on. The shoes that you bought for $100, when they come out with the new pair, it's $130 in 10 years from now because the purchasing power of this money has disappeared. In 30 years, this money will have $10 worth of purchasing power. So in 30 years, you will need $300 to buy what you buy today for $100. So if you say, I want $1 million in cash in my bank account, what I'm going to tell you is that money is going to disappear. The purchasing power is going to disappear because you have a loan. So if you say, I hate having loans, if you hold cash, you actually have a loan and you are defeating the purpose. This is only a tool as liquidity to buy stuff. You need to trade this for real items. Stocks, you own shares of company. With inflation, the stock value goes up. Real estate, you're replacing it for a real asset. Gold, silver, real assets, they go up. But if you keep cash, cash will devalue every year. It doesn't increase in value. It's kind of like the idea of this. You're like, well, I just bought the car and off the lot, it was worth less. You got cash, a year later, it's worth less. So the point is you take your cash and then this is the other crazy thing. They take cash and they pay down loans with it. I was like, why would you take $100 that has a 3% interest rate, which is roughly the inflation rate, right? And pay down a 3% loan, which is your home mortgage. You took a 3% and traded it for 3%. That's not a win. You stayed at the same position. You stack up your cash and you buy another piece of real estate because it will appreciate. Okay? Multiply your money. So a man thinks, so he is. So you need to change the way you think, change the way you act so you can grow. All right, guys, let's go back to the questions. What happens if someone gets hurt living in your house or you want to evict them? 1, if someone gets hurt, you should have insurance to cover that. 2, if you want to evict them, then you just evict them. You go through the process. So King Mom says, I get it a little. Good. Daniel says, what is the amount a newbie should have saved up? 10, 20, 50K, 80K? Well, my first deal, I put down $32,000. So really there isn't an amount. The more money you have, the more you can do with it. So just make sure that you have money left. If you're going to buy a rental property yourself and you're going to manage it, make sure that you have some money left over so you can fix it. Julian says, hey, Daniel, Pascal said earlier, it depends on how much you want as a return on your investment and what you'll buy. That is correct. Michael says, so how do you make the value more? Stop printing money? No, we need to start having manufacturing back into the country because our dollar is based off of the confidence in the U.S. government. The confidence in the U.S. government is based off of its citizens and its ability to produce something that the world wants. So we need to start producing more, right? We have services, but most of the services and the ideas we're getting, people are stealing them and they're just copying them. So we need to bring back physical goods. We need to start producing again. And I think it's going to happen because after all the problems we've had with China and how they're not giving us products like they used to give us, like, for example, like masks and vaccines. A lot of our masks and vaccines are produced in China. And now they're not giving us some of that stuff. And they're making it look like, oh, look how fast China is recovering. Well, we buy that stuff from China. And if China's not giving it to us, they're actually like holding it back from us. How are we going to recover fast? But then we'll see stuff on like some of the news channels make it look like, oh, China's way better than us. Well, no, they're not better than us. They're actually not being fair because for 30, 40 years, we've made you super rich buying your cheap shit. And now you're not selling us stuff when we need it. That's not good business. So how about this? We stop trading with you and we start manufacturing in our own country again. Right? It's going to be a problem. It's going to be a problem. It's going to be a very rough time. That's another problem we're going to have over the next 10 years. It's going to be a rough time, but we're going to slowly start producing back in America where the issue of, well, people need to start getting paid more. Well, if we start producing in America again, people are going to start making more money. So cost of goods are going to go up, but people are going to make more money. So they should be able to afford the higher cost of goods, which is better. It's okay for cost of goods to go up as long as everyone's making enough money to pay for it. It's better than for us to buy cheap stuff that's bad. And then, okay, yeah, we're buying cheap stuff that's bad, but no one has any money to pay for it. Like that doesn't make any sense. All right. Julian says, back to physical cash being a liability unless used to acquire assets. Correct. What are your ticker symbols you mentioned for gold and silver? Going to stock up tomorrow. Again, I'm not telling you to buy, and be very careful of when you buy, right? Because the gold GLD is one of the tickers that I buy. It just had a huge spike in the last few days. So I don't know if it's going to go up or go down. I think over the next 6 months, it's going to go up. How much, I can't say. But I'm still thinking it's going to go up a good amount, in my opinion. And this is good for me. You have to make an assessment for yourself. The other ticker is GOLD, right? And then there's physical silver and physical gold you can buy as well. King Mom says, I respect you. It's 12 a.m. and you're teaching us. To be honest, I didn't even realize how late it was. To To be honest with you, I really didn't even realize how late it was. I get into it and I really love it. To be honest, laugh out loud. Got to go. Have a good night, everyone. Peace. Yeah, I'm gonna wrap up soon, guys. Again, if you guys want the course link is in the bio. It's Foundations of Personal Finance. You should definitely get it. You're gonna learn a lot. It takes 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, 12 months, sometimes 18 months to fully use everything I'm teaching you in the course. So if you're trying to buy deals in a year and a half from now, you need to start now fixing everything up so you can be able to buy the deals at that time, right? You don't want to find out that you can't qualify for a loan because somehow something needs to be fixed, right? And you need to, and if that is true, you want to find that out now so you can fix it now. So in 18 months, you're ready. Joe, what do you think about gold watches? I think, Joe, you need to save your money. But if you really want to know my opinion, that rose gold Sky Dweller for $45,000 would look very nice on my wrist. Just saying. Just saying. Yeah, I got a few pieces, but what I normally do is I buy the pieces used, and I buy them for deep discounts. So I get them at like almost like if you buy used watches, they're like investments. So don't, like, for example, the Incredible Hulk. Those things were going for $5,000 used when the market went down in 08, 9, 10. A used Hulk costs $14,000 now. So watches can be an investment if you buy them right. So I would say if you're looking to get a gold piece, wait until the market drops next year, the year after. You can pick up a lot of nice watches. So I'm looking like at one point, a rose gold Sky Dweller that retails for $45,000 was selling for $15,000. So am I going to get one? Yeah. Am I going to get it at 45,000? No. I'll pick it up at 15. So what's my business about? I have an insurance agency, I have an accounting firm, I have a lending company, I have a property management company, I have a construction company, I have a real estate investment company. So I have multiple businesses that involve finance and investing. What's good, guys? Guys, thank you for all the thumbs up. Everybody on YouTube, smash the thumbs up. I appreciate all your love on IG. When this stuff goes live, please like it, comment, share it with your friends, invite them to my pages. I really appreciate it. It means a big thank you to me. I really appreciate that, you guys. I wish blessings for all you guys. I wish you guys the best. Use this information. You will benefit. Having good finances help you with everything you're doing. All right? Love you guys. God bless. Good night.